Some 2,600 years ago, the ancient Greek poet Pindar wrote, "Become who you are by learning who you are." What he meant is the following. You are born with a particular makeup and tendencies that mark you as a piece of fate. It is who you are to the core. Some people never become who they are. They stop trusting in themselves. They conform to the tastes of others, and they end up wearing a mask that hides their true nature. If you allow yourself to learn who you really are by paying attention to that voice and force within you, then you could become what you are fated to become, an individual, a master. Robert Greene. What's up, Internet? My name is TridentLion, and welcome to this book animation summary. The book we are featuring today is Mastery by Robert Greene. If you have been a subscriber to this channel for a while, you could probably tell that I'm a huge fan of Robert Greene. So it should come as no surprise that I've created a book summary video about mastery. So let's get into it by starting out with, why is this book important? Mastery can serve as a compass to help you find yourself to your highest calling. It can help return you to your inner inclinations and talents. If there is a chance that you've given up on your inner calling, then this book is perfect for you. It's never too late to start. It's up to you to take action upon your inner inclinations. You have within you a form of power, a power that represents a high point in human potential. Think of various masters throughout history, like Leonardo da Vinci, Henry Ford, Larry Page, and so on and so forth. It is easy to assume these masters have achieved so much due to genetics and inborn talent, but that couldn't be further from the truth. They achieve mastery through vigorous work, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 hours of focus on their vocation. When you are at the level of mastery, you reinvent your chosen field, innovating it, changing it, making it better. The greatness these masters have achieved can be attributed to effort and process, not genetics or privilege. However, as of now, there is a great chance you are not a master yet. Heck, many of you might not even know what your inner calling is. And that's okay, because the first chapter of this book is about discovering your life's calling. Whatever you are striving to pursue mastery in, recognize that you need to love it. Otherwise, the consistent pain that comes with the process, the inevitable fails and setbacks, as well as the doubt coming from within you and others, will be way too overpowering to bear. It has to feel right, and it will feel right if it is your true inner calling. With that strong connection, you will be resilient through whatever adversity comes your way. If you feel energized and motivated, you can overcome anything. But if you're pursuing something that's not your calling, you will feel bored. You will feel anxious that it's taking too long. You'll feel anxious that you're failing along the way. And your mind will shut off and you will become passive. Passivity is an attitude that is way too common in today's world. Passivity is not cool, but instead is pathetic. You rob the world of your greatness by being passive. You must create your world in life, otherwise your dreams, gifts, talents, and goals will die due to inaction, and it's nobody's fault but your own. We have been born into an incredible time with access to information that previous masters could only dream of. You must find a way to your inner inclination. Finding your inclination and then mastering it is a positive and necessary task. We are overwhelmed with information. It is far too easy to get sucked up in all the distractions of today. To discover your life's calling and achieve mastery, it will require you to become extremely focused. There will be sacrifices you have to make. Cut out dumb, unimportant activities and instead allocate your time wisely so you are progressing on the path to mastering your vocation. How is this book structured? Mastery contains 6 sequential chapters that move you through the process. Chapter 1 is on discovering your life's calling. Chapters 2, 3, and 4 discuss the various elements of the apprenticeship phase. Chapter 5 is on the creative active phase, and Chapter 6 is the final and ultimate goal, mastery. Now I need to emphasize that this is not a destination, but an ongoing process. The greatest masters of all time were never above continued learning. The first step of the process of mastery is by looking inward. We all have an inner calling. Do your best to drown out the noise of outside influences. There is a danger in this phase. It is a destructive force that could take you away from your life's calling and true potential. Think about the social pressure from society, relatives, peers. Many voices of this counterforce are not ill-intended either. It can be friends or relatives persuading you to pursue what they think will be good for you, or what they think will be secure for you. By following such innocent yet horrible advice, it can lead you down a dangerous path. You will not be able to achieve greatness and fulfillment in a field if you're not interested in it. Instead of blending in with the crowd, understand you have a particular purpose in life, which can be discovered through pursuing your inner voice. So what are some strategies to finding your life's task? Be sure to properly plan and strategize your life's task, because you will encounter an overwhelmingly large amount of adversity, so be ready. The first one is the primal inclination strategy, where you think back to your roots, to your childhood. When you were young and free, everything seemed possible. What grabbed your interest? Another strategy is the Darwinian strategy, occupy the perfect niche. Another one is the rebellion strategy, which is to avoid the false path, rebel against the path that's laid out for you by society, relatives, peers. It's a healthy part of your development to follow an independent path and establish your own identity. Another strategy is let go of your past. And the last strategy that he provides for this is a life and death strategy. You can measure how far you've deviated from your vocation by the depth of your frustration and pain. Throughout this book, Robert Greene provides a wealth of examples of masters throughout history over a large spectrum of fields. You can use the examples in this book and the stories that are provided in this book. For example, the legendary boxing trainer, Freddie Roach, had his boxing career ended in his 20s, and he had to go and get a job as a telemarketer. And his telemarketing job was very unfulfilling, very against his calling, but he needed work to survive. But he didn't want to give up on his dream. He knew his calling was in boxing, so what he did was he worked for free. He would go to his day job and he would work for free at a boxing gym. Now that free job that he did ultimately paid off because he ended up making that his full-time job as a boxing trainer. Make time to do it. If you have a job, go to your job. If you have a family, provide for your family. And then after all of that, pursue your inner inclinations. Too many of us give up on our inner voice and or use excuses why we can't pursue it anymore. Once you have your calling, it's time to become an apprentice. Chapter 2. Submit to the reality, the ideal apprenticeship. The apprenticeship phase can be outlined in 3 steps. The passive mode, where you observe, learn, take in. The second, practice mode, where you put what you've learned into practice to sharpen your newly acquired knowledge. And the third is active mode, where you take on more responsibility. Now, what are some strategies to help you complete the ideal apprenticeship? Value learning over money. Keep expanding your horizons. Push the boundaries. Another one is trust the process. Move towards resistance and pain. Advance through trial and error. What you should desire is an opportunity to learn and develop your skills. Chapter 3, absorb the master's power, which is the mentor dynamic. Now we are still in the apprenticeship phase. Once we have the basic understanding of our chosen field, it's time to get a real mentor, a current master in your field to learn from. Think about how much more efficient the process of mastery would be if there was a master there helping you navigate. It's kind of like the idea of learning how to ride a bike. It's a lot easier to learn how to ride a bike if you have someone there showing you and demonstrating how to do it, rather than just reading a manual on how to do it. Several months ago, I did a video on virtual mentors, how you can learn from some of the greats even without ever meeting with them in person. I'll leave a link for that video in the description below. Now on to Chapter 4, Social Intelligence. Seeing people as they are can help you see them through a more impactful lens. Gain social intelligence to avoid being manipulated against your will and calling. Recognize the 7 deadly realities with social intelligence: envy, conformism, rigidity, laziness, self-obsessiveness, flightiness, and passive aggression. These 7 deadly realities can be present in you as well as others. Regardless, they are toxic with regards to your path to mastery, so you must shield yourself against them. Chapter 5, Awaken the Dimensional Mind, the Creative Active. Your attitude is more important than your talent with regards to creativity. Avoid feeling insecure or anxious. Become more and more bold as you emerge from your apprenticeship. Expand your knowledge, seek multiple solutions to your problems, and be original. Your originality can bring you great power. You don't have to be born a creative thinker. You control your brain. You train it. You can access a higher form of intelligence. You can cultivate this knowledge and power through deep immersion in a particular field of study that is also your inner calling. Masters develop an automatic connection of the mind and the body. When you become a master, your mind and body become one performing skill. Think of a master pianist. They don't even have to look at the keys. They're just one with the piano. And remember, mastery is not a talent or something genetic. It is a mixture of time and intense focus directed towards a particular field. As you read through Mastery, I hope it helps you discover and reinforce the inner calling within you. Through learning about the process and how others have achieved mastery, I hope it helps inspire you to take action and move forward on your journey of mastery. Thank you so much for checking out this summary on Mastery by Robert Greene. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. Also, if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. I highly recommend picking up a copy of this book for yourself. You can find a link for it in the description. The way to get the most value out of this book is not to just read a bunch of quick summaries, but to pick up the book yourself and read it and find ways to incorporate the knowledge that you're learning into your life. My name is TridentLion, and until the next video, remember, always be learning, always be creating, and always be inspired.